Wrong goddamn thing. Hello everyone, back once again. This game has a myriad of technical issues that have not been fixed. But that is okay. We will get through this together. We can structure, remove qualifying, because we have done custom grid. Okay, whatever. Oh shit, nearly everyone's joined back already. Goddamn. No you. I love how I got no you'd. Anyway. I'm back. Let's get this started. I'm gonna go through my screenshots real quick to get the lobby results set up. Just give me a moment. We've got 18 people on the grid. That is mad. Everyone's just joined back instantly. So that's mighty there. Obviously Bremer was on pole. I know that much. Okay, so good. I've got Q3 results. So that's good. Just be patient, everyone. We'll be back. And Dylan was P5. Now P6. Oops. Where's your boy here? I need to move myself so I'm not racing. And then Rango Killer. Okay. 10th and down was RNG Salty. I know that much. Down at the bottom, RNG Salty. P10. Oh, why is my phone? Just load the fucking screenshot. Love it when phones do that sometimes. Oh, Mad Dog. Urban Growth. Hardwidge. 14th and then 15th and 16th were I'm a Bird and what's his name? War Machine. Where's War Machine? War Machine's not even here, man. Oh, there he is. Hang on, next I'm a Bird was P13. There you go. Oh, that's Q1. No, I'm a Bird. For some reason, isn't even in Q3. The fuck? 16th then 15th. He was ahead of I'm a Bird. Okay. Yep. Okay. So make sure I get that right. Sorry everyone. I'm just gonna make sure I got this grid right. Very likely, very certain I have, but I just want to double check. Okay, so Q3. That is all correct. Awesome stuff. Okay, that makes sense then. Yep, okay. Cool. That is that. Okay. What seats are free? Where's Striker Ace? He's in the Red Bull. Is AMG Hamilton still in here? If he is, he is. Yeah. What's AMG Hamilton typically in? Yeah, we may as well get this underway. A lot of stuffing around. That's alright. We'll get this underway. AMG Hamilton's pretty clean. F1 ordered the service from Wish. Yeah, they really did, eh? Yep. We're underway, fellas. Yeah, make sure correct tyres. Alright. Race should be underway. I've turned off... I mean, hopefully it's turned off. I mean, who knows at this point? This game is so inconsistent with everything that it's hard to say if this game's actually fixed. Has actually saved the settings that I've wanted. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm gonna delete that icon off my desktop. It's like the Benny Hill theme. This game is actually the visual representation of the Benny Hill theme. I swear, nothing works. I'm not even sure if my stream's working. Did Reedy join? I was gonna say no, but I hope not. Reedy join? Okay, yeah, cool. My audio's working fine. It seems to be slightly worse than it was before, but you know, is what it is. We're just waiting. Who are we waiting on? I do apologise, everyone, for the technical difficulties that we've encountered once again. This game, very obviously, is not a stable game, even half a year into its life cycle. We've got F1 2022 coming later this year, mid-late this year anyway, and I don't think this game's ever going to be fixed. So, on behalf of Rapid Racing League, I do apologise. Obviously, isn't my fault. I've been trying to, you know, get everything working. Anyway, 5 lights. Bremer on pole with NRL Gasly alongside him on the front row. It's lights out, and the race to turn 1 is underway. But Stroke race down at the bottom for some reason. But anyway, NRL Gasly takes the lead from Bremer. Bremer had an awful start, actually, and is now down to P3. We've got car going very wide off the track there. I'm not sure who that was, but we're seeing plenty of contact going into that tight part of turn 1. Go onto the full track map, we have a McLaren. It is Hardwidge. His car seems fine though, so unfortunately RNG Salty's also out. Off track, but his car has recovered. AMG Hamilton is in P16. He is a late debutant. He has raced in Div 3 before, but he's joined late due to personal reasons. And he's now in the race. SFR Piastri's lost a lot of places as well. It's a boy here, and SFR Piastri have slight contact going through that chicane. Sorry, bend, I should be saying. Yeah, chaotic first lap so far, but it seems to be the case where everyone's front wings are reasonably intact, but Bremer has lost a lot of places. I suspect that the medium tyre has absolutely done a number on his start there. But as it stands, NRL Gasly leads, X laps, McNeil's, claps for life, and yeah, of course, Bremer. Aforementioned Bremer. And we have Renga Killer and Urban Growth exchanging positions further down the field, heading up to turn 9. Seems Renga Killer's quite slow through there, actually. We've got a spinner potential. We've got a potential spinner. I'm not sure what happened there. It's a Red Bull. It's Stroker Race, I think. Stroker Race, there's War Machine in the Ferrari. Stroker Race has no front wing to speak of. So Stroker Race is going to have to dive into the pit lane there as we see NRL Gasly cross the start-finish line to start lap 2 of this race. Stroker Race and War Machine have a collision penalty. Not sure what happened there. But we have a virtual safety car as a result of prior contact. As we see a couple of cars, 2 Red Bulls in fact, dive into the pit lane. That's going to impede on each other. Stroke Race gains a 5-second penalty. Yeah. That's not ideal there at all. But Gasly still leads X laps and McNeil's. And he's got a comfortable lead so far. We don't know how long this virtual safety car is going to go for. But it shouldn't be too much longer now. It's a bit of a chaotic start, if I'm going to be honest. But you get those in Division 3. In fact, you get those in the F1 games in general, because everyone wants to be ahead of each other. With latency issues and everything, sometimes someone's close contact could be another's spin. Sometimes you'll just get racing incidents. As we're back under racing conditions, as X-Laps collapse. Oh, we saw Claps get ahead. He actually dived into Rapid McNeil's there, and as a result, Rapid McNeil's has lost 2 places. Bremer gained 1 off the back of that. So Bremer's now back up to P4, although he's on the outside line going in here, but he'll be in the inside line. He's mounted that curb a bit. It's your boy here is there for comfort as well, there for company. All super close to each other. McNeil's runs very wide. God, this is close. Oh, and they have slight contact going into the corner. Still neck and neck, these three. So we see XRT and Rango Killer exchange positions. Bremer gets ahead of McNeil's. Bremer's going to have the inside line, although McNeil's gets ahead of him. Oh, and a bit of a dive there. Oh, and there's some slight contact between the two. And Bremer ends up losing 2 positions as a result, but DRS has been enabled. Sadly, neither of the 3 will get DRS, and Claps for Life gets ahead of X-Laps for P2, although they're side by side going into turn 1, and they a slight contact as they do a crisscross. That works out well for Claps for Life though, as he has DRS coming up. Or does he not? He doesn't have DRS. Never mind, I was proven wrong. DRS is very finicky. So X-Laps stays ahead. I think he got slight contact maybe. No, it didn't look like it. But it's super close between these two going into these S's here. Not a good part of the track to be side by side or even super close to each other on. Oh, and there's some slight contact between Claps and X-Laps. Further contact there as X-Laps is now on the medium tyre still. Well, he's obviously started on the medium tyre. I believe he was actually on the soft tyre, but could be wrong. We see the 2 Aston Martins in P3 and P4. NRL Gasly in all this has sailed away from his competition. He's now 2.6 seconds ahead of X-Laps in P2. First of the medium tyre runners, as Gasly is still running P1 on the soft tyres. Urban Growth and XRT exchange positions, likely through the use of DRS. So we see the 2 Red Bulls. Oh, and we see Mad Dog spinning in turn 8. Has he got front wing damage? He might have minor front wing damage. That will definitely affect his race outcome, regardless if he has front wing damage or not, as he's now down into P16. Hardwidge has gained a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. As we cross into lap 4, Gasly sets the fastest lap. There's some contact between Claps and X-Laps once again. Claps gets ahead of X-Laps on DRS, and X-Laps is falling behind a little bit. Those medium tyres aren't into their zone yet. And Urban Growth gets ahead of Armour Bird for P9, so Urban Growth's been steadily making positions since lap 1. Didn't make it into Q3, which was quite a shock, but he's made it there. And X-Laps, and Claps and X-Laps have an accident, and McNeil spins as well. We have 2 spinners losing positions as a result of that. Oh, and X-Laps is in AI mode, so I reckon he's guilty. I reckon there's a little bit of guilt there for that one. It might be an admission. Bremer gains a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. McNeil's is back ahead of his teammate Dimmer in P6. In all that, Claps for Life has lost a position to Urban Growth, so Urban Growth has gained quite a bit from that, and Bremer and X-Laps are side by side once again. Bremer sails ahead of X-Laps there into P3. Bremer is back into the podium places. Seeing anyone else super close to each other. We're seeing a couple of cars with DRS. I'm a Bird is P11. The lead Ferrari runs very wide though going into turn 8. Mounts a little bit of that curb, but stays ahead of Rango Killer. AMG Hamilton currently sitting P13, waiting to get ahead of Rango. War Machine is behind Hunter Hardwidge, only by about a second roughly. Salty's gained a time penalty for exceeding track limits. Gasly crosses the line to start lap 5 for 29. He's now 3.8 seconds ahead of It's Your Boy Here. Bremer hunting down It's Your Boy Here in P3 with DRS enabled. He'll have another shot at getting ahead of It's Your Boy Here in this next DRS zone as we go uphill. X-Laps looks a little unstable in the rear there. Bremer has DRS once again. He's used a lot of his ERS. He's got 30% left. And McNeil's is comfortably X-Laps is comfortably ahead of McNeil, sorry. Piastri is hounding down the rear of McNeil in the Alfa Romeo. Oh, and he loses the rear, spins out. That was a bad case of commentator's curse. Soft, medium, soft, best strat, you reckon? Yeah, it worked. It nearly worked for me. I mean, that safety car did help. I would have lost a few positions, but I mean, if you can absolutely get it, do a one-stop. I think a one-stop works. I tried that in 2020, blew out my medium tyre because I pitted like 3 laps too early. And I tried a one-stopper in Spain, and it nearly didn't work. As we see, I'm a Bird try to make a move on the outside of XRT, but ends up losing a place to Rango instead. So there's an exchange of positions there through poor braking position. Very tricky to get that braking zone right, that downhill one, heading onto the back straight. But Rango is now into the points as a result, and I'm a Bird looks like he's struggling with his car a bit there. But he's nearly lost it. He's run wide a bit, and he's 4/10ths up. So those medium tyres are starting to get into the groove a little bit there. So we see Bremer still in the DRS range of Itsuboy here, but Gasly, he's got no one to fear. He's 3.7 seconds ahead of Itsuboy here in P2. So, yeah, very chaotic first few laps. Fortunately, there's been no safety cars called, despite the abundance of spins up near turn 4. So it looks like there's a strong tailwind there, maybe. I mean, I remember Vettel spinning as a result. Oh, we've got a Mercedes in the wall. That's McNeil. Near where I crashed. Does he have a front wing? It's very difficult to say. There's a flurry of cars overtaking him. He's lost a lot of places. It seems like his front wing's intact, so he's super lucky to keep that front wing intact. But he's lost a lot of places as War Machine runs very wide there. War Machine's lagging a little bit there, but War Machine still manages to keep ahead of Rapid McNeil in P15. SFR Piastri nearly spins. He has to control the fishtail. Setup not working out for him. The medium tyre is likely not working out for him as War Machine and McNeil's exchange positions. It might have been contact there, but I think contact was just narrowly avoided. You see the back three very far behind and on different compounds of tyre. Mad Dog's on the soft tyre, which might cost him a bit later on in the race. But the 2 Red Bulls on the harder compounds of tyres might work for them quite nicely as X-Laps gets another 3-second penalty. Or was it his first? Find out at the end of this race. Got another one. Urban Growth sitting very comfortably in P5. He's kept it very clean. It's traditional for him to keep it very clean and to keep out of contact. And to be quite a mover as well in this ladder. As he's weaving out of the way to prevent Claps for Life getting ahead of him with DRS and ERS. Urban Growth and Claps have very low levels of ERS though. They need to recharge that battery. Very hard to do so around here though, particularly when you're fighting. We have a spinner. It is Bremer. Bremer and X-Laps have had contact. So Bremer's lost out in a ton of places as a result of that, and X-Laps has lost out in even more. With Urban Growth and Claps fighting, Claps goes very wide and lets back a couple of cars through. So Bremer's now back up into P4 as a result, and Urban Growth is now in the podium places. We have another yellow flag. It's Sector 2, Sector 3. It is a Red Bull of RNG Salty on the hard compound tyre. Gasly's lead has diminished a little bit by about a second. Itsuboy here seems to be flying right now on those soft compound tyres. They are both on some soft compound tyres though, so they are likely going to be mirroring each other's strategies. In fact, I believe it's the same for the top 3, because they're all on the soft compound tyre. Bremer is the first of the runners on the medium tyres. Claps not far behind him. Dimmer in P6, X-Laps in P7 after that spin with Bremer. Rango in P8, AMG Hamilton P9, and XRT in P10. Not far behind AMG Hamilton, braking a bit later than AMG Hamilton and running a bit wide. But as I'm slowly finding out, it seems to be okay to actually mount that outside curb actually, just as long as they don't spin it or lose it up here, as it's very easy to do so. But Harwich hunting down XRT and AMG Hamilton. But Honor Bird and Piastri aren't too far behind him either. Been plenty of action in these 8 laps so far. Hope you've been enjoying this. It's been quite a chaotic race so far, quite a chaotic but fitting return to Division 3 tonight. I wouldn't expect anything less. Fortunately, there's been less crashes. There's been less need for safety cars. There's been not a single one so far. We've had a VSC, which technically counts. And this might be the world's worst case of commentator's curse, if I'm going to be honest, because we might have one a bit later on. As apparently, tyres fit onto cars like gloves do to hands. We have a Red Bull that spun. It's salty again. So we'll both have damage. Well, that's not a useful camera to find out if he has damage. Gasly, yeah, he's good. He's shown a lot of promise on his first race. And the gap's maintained steady too. If anything, Itsuboy here has been able to gain a little bit. He's lost a little bit actually coming out of the downhill braking zone. But Bremer and War Machine and Claps are the big battle pack right now. They're all within about a second of each other. They've got DRS. Urban Growth might get ahead of Bremer here in the braking zone. Oh, they're side by side of the braking zone. Oh, Urban Growth takes the inside line to give Bremer room. Very respectful battle between these two as XRT and AMG Hamilton swap places, with XRT getting ahead on the braking zone here, but Hamilton is catching up to him coming up through turn 9. Oh, XRT spins! Keeps the car in one piece though. Tyres are very likely worn from that, but he loses quite a few places as a result of that. So we see NRL Gasly pit on lap 9 of 29. He can go to the end on the medium tyre if he wants. So now it's your boy here leads Bremer, leads Urban Growth. The top 3 have been a top 3 that you've seen a lot in last season in Div 3. They've been very quick in their respective category. Very clean drivers generally too. We've got some fresh people behind him in the form of the Rapid SoFar Claps and X-Laps. 2 rivals in the Aston Martin and the Haas respectively. Running P4 and P5. AMG Hamilton's had a good run starting from last to 6th. Running on the medium tyre. Hardwidge keeping him honest, keeping him very close behind, ready for any mistake that AMG Hamilton might do. As Bremer still comfortably sitting P6, has no threats from Urban Growth. In fact, he's done that exit a lot better than Urban Growth has. Those soft tyres might be starting to lose a bit of their performance. And Bremer does have a bit of a boost with more ERS as well. Urban Growth seems more confident on the brakes though. He's braking quite a bit later than Bremer. As if anyone, hopefully no one spins going up here. It's very, very easy to accidentally lose it. For seemingly no reason either. AMG Hamilton and Hardwidge going up the hill. They maintain a steady distance. Hardwidge goes a bit wide and over the curbs though, as does Piastri, who's currently back in the points, along with the 2 Ferraris behind him. It's echoes of Belgium 2020 all over again when the Alfa Romeo of Kimi Raikkonen got ahead. Wow, Gasly just got ahead of War Machine there in a wonderful move that I didn't see. Is he going to stay ahead through the braking zone? Yes, he is. So Gasly's already back into the points paying positions. No one else is, sorry, Claps for Life has pitted. He's going for the medium compound tyres. Yeah, mediums, yeah. I was so sketchy with the mediums. I was really worried driving them. But bizarrely, with how my setup was, I felt a bit more confident generally across the track, just not through turn 9. So we'll see a battle forming between Piastri as Dimmer and Claps for Life exchange positions up turn 1. So Dimmer got ahead likely through DRS as NRL Gasly gets ahead of War Machine once again and sails away on those medium compound tyres. The fresh mediums for NRL Gasly are paying off in dividends. He is currently P9. 2.3 seconds behind Unbird, currently running P8. But back as I was saying, when the 2 Ferraris are side by side each other, it reminds me of Spa 2020 when Kimi Raikkonen finished ahead of the 2 Ferraris. That was a sad day if you're a fan of the Div3. Don't really care about the Div3, but I don't really care about Ferrari. But, I mean, I've got a little soft spot for them. I like Sainz a lot, and I don't mind Leclerc. As we see AMG Hamilton and Hardwidge battling once again. They've exchanged positions at some point in this race. On lap 10, they are both on the medium tyre. Hamilton looked really unsteady there. Had to ease off a little bit, but was still able to keep reasonably close to Hunter Hardwidge, as Hardwidge somehow gained a penalty. Not sure why. Looked on track to me, but X-Laps dives into the pits on lap 11, those medium tyres. That's interesting, actually, because we had Gasly pit on lap 9. And X-Laps is pitting on a harder compound 2 laps later. As we'll see, Urban Growth and Bremer pretty close, as AMG Hamilton going along on the medium tyre has paid off with dividends. The 2 Alfa Romeos running 4th and 5th as I'm a Bird and Hunter Hardwidge. There's a 3-car battle pack here. There's a slight contact between I'm a Bird and SFR Piastri. More contact between Hardwidge and I'm a Bird. Or even more contact as Dimmer sets the fastest lap of the race. So because of that contact, Hardwidge got a little bit of a momentum shift against him, and as a result lost some time as he brakes very late and goes just dives out the outside there to try to get away from him. Nearly gets in the way of NRL Gasly, who's waiting in the wings to get ahead of Hardwidge in P7. Gasly patiently waiting to get ahead of them as Hardwidge runs very wide and gets out of the way. It's a very, very clean move there from him to get out of the way and remove any potential risk of a crash between those two. Good on Hardwidge there. Still running P8, still comfortably in the points as XRT and War Machine battle for the last points paying position. Number 25 Ferrari and the number 4 Williams respectively. Seeing plenty of close DRS battles up ahead. NRL Gasly currently running P6, has led most laps of this race so far after Bremer's poor start. But it's your boy here still running on the soft compound tyre. He might be pitting this lap. He is indeed looking to go into the pits this lap. Slows down. Does he avoid getting a speeding penalty? He does. Just. So that leaves Bremer into the lead as Urban Growth dives into the pit lane on lap 12 of 29. They can one-stop this race, these guys. They can go in on the medium tyre for the rest of this race as Bremer sails away in the lead with an 8-second, well, maybe a bit less than that. Yeah, roughly 8-second gap. Oh, the time's all blocked up. We don't know what the gap is. It's actually closer to 10 seconds now. So the gap between AMG Hamilton and Bremer is, yeah, 10 seconds. McNeil's has a penalty. NRL Gasly's up to P5 as a result of the waves of pit stops. Urban Growth is still coming out of the pits. He's coming out of the pits out of the points. The two McLarens opted to double stack, but Urban Growth gets ahead of X-Laps. So that bodes well. X-Laps on the soft compound tyre again. Unless he's still going on that soft compound tyre. Can I check stops? No, he's had a stop. No, yes, he's opted for fresh softs. That's very interesting. So now it is Bremer leading AMG Hamilton and SFR Piastri. Followed by I'm a Bird. NRL Gasly, who's very close behind I'm a Bird actually. He's got DRS as well, so he might get him on this braking zone. We're going to go on board with NRL Gasly. I'm going to use this camera to see how he manages this overtake. He's going to look. He's going to have a brief look. Oh, he broke a little later. He's getting ever so closer to him. But he didn't opt to go for the move. He wants to wait till the back straight. It's on the inside line. SFR Piastri runs very wide there. That could produce some contact between them, as it does. And Gasly is the loser as a result. He loses out on positions as a result of slight contact between I'm a Bird and SFR Piastri. So, impressive form there from Gasly, and he resets the track. That's a no-no from Gasly, so that's a slam dunk penalty from him, unfortunately. As SFR Piastri goes into the pits on lap 13, the leader still ex-Bremer. AMG Hamilton and I'm a Bird being the big improvers here, as X-Lap sets the fastest lap. And NRL Gasly's got to do that all over again. He was rapid in the early part of this race, and he showed a rapid pace on the mediums too. So that hasn't worked out for him, but there's still over half race distance left to go. Yeah, I don't know what I'm a Bird was doing there. He was diving on the inside of Piastri there. Piastri ended up losing places as well, but he ended up pitting, and he's now out on the hard compound tyre, which may not work for him. That's going to be very interesting to see how that ends up going from at the end of the race. His Claps for Life running P8 now has a penalty. War Machine keeping it steady on his medium tyres on lap 13 of 29. We're about to hit half race distance. Apparently I can't speak, but I'm fighting a little bit of indigestion, so I'm sorry if I sound like I'm gasping for air. I didn't get COVID yet. As It's Your Boy, he gets ahead of XRT in a wonderful move, assisted by DRS and more confidence on the brakes. XRT keeping it very consistent on his debut. He did spin earlier, but through sheer consistency, he's managed to get the car back up into P5. So the Williams are looking very good here. As we officially hit the halfway mark. And Bremer might lap stroke a race here. Poor Red Bull duo just haven't had a good race today. Salty qualifying in the mid-10s packs on the lower end of the field, and Stroker Race being a late debutant effectively relegated him to the back of the field as X-Lap sets another fastest lap. So, oh, there's a 4-car battle here for P6 as Dimmer looks to dive ahead. War Machine gives him room. There's now 3 cars as X-Laps loses it a little bit from slight contact, gets ahead of Urban Growth. Just, God, these guys are close. These guys are fearless. See if Claps for Life dives ahead of War Machine. He does. Just some slight contact. Claps keeps it steady, doesn't lose the car, and only loses 1 position as Hardwich sets the fastest lap of this race. Oh, and there's contact between Dimmer and X-Laps. There's more contact between those two as they spin each other out. Wasn't good there. Just too close. 2 cars should not go in there as Dimmer resets the track. It's an unspoken rule there. Sadly, Dimmer will get a penalty, but NRL Gasly's now back into the points as a result, and he's got X-Laps in his wounded soft tyres for company. So X-Laps might get ahead of him on the DRS here as X-Laps mounts that curb a little bit aggressively to keep his line, to keep 9th. But Gasly's got DRS. So we see more battling between War Machine and Claps. Oh, and they look super close there. There's some slight contact, but Claps gets out past him on the outside. So that was an impressive overtake, and Urban Growth gets ahead of War Machine in a wonderful, smooth pass to take P6 from War Machine. Excellent stuff there from Urban Growth. Urban Growth might fancy getting P5 from Claps for Life too, the way he's going on those soft tyres. see what he does. He has DRS to help him. Claps does not have DRS. As War Machine now goes into the pits on lap 15 of 29. He's getting rid of those medium tyres. It's your boy here running P3. Urban Growth does indeed get ahead though, making 2 overtakes in 1 sector. So it's an absolutely mighty effort from Urban Growth to gain those 2 places. Well fought from Urban Growth and well respected from everyone else around him to keep it clean. We have Gasly now in P8, but he did reset the track. We did catch him live resetting the track. And Dimmer also reset the track, so that benefits Rango Killer quite a bit. As it stands, X-Laps comes out from his pits in P15. He's gotten for another set of soft tyres, which is interesting. Mad Dog isn't that far behind him now. As you can see, Bremar's keeping it steady. He's still on those medium tyres that he started this race with. Set a time good enough for P5 in Q2 on those medium tyres. He was the lead medium runner. So that was a mighty lap. Quali lap was good for a pole position, and he's currently back in that pole position seat, currently leading this race. He's about to lap stroke a race here, as AMG Hamilton's comfortably sitting in P2 on lap 16 of 29. Those medium tyres serving him well. He might be pinning this lap. No, he's staying out. He's opting to stay out for yet another lap. He might go straight to the soft compound tyre after this, the way he's going. Yeah, stewards are going to be busy after this one. But there's a reminder once again that we will not tolerate any harmful, hateful, abusive messages towards fellow racers here. If you've got a problem that you want to send to the stewards, send it over and they will handle it accordingly. As Umberbird pits and has served his pit stop. He's now out on the soft tyre. That's a little long to be going on the soft tyre, but it might put him in a good position as Gasly has now got DRS on XRT. Consistent performer XRT, barring that one spin, he's been clean. Oh, and there's some slight contact actually. So, yeah, slight bump and run there, but fortunately there's not significant damage. Claps isn't that far behind Urban Growth. The Aston Martin's currently running P3 and P5. Former teammates P3 and P4 actually. So these two were a formidable duo, basically matching the absurd pace of the McLarens in Div 1 at points. Sorry, McLarens in Div 3 at points. The McLarens in Div 3 in Season 1 were borderline unstoppable, and the Aston Martins usually weren't too far behind them at their best. Now they're in different teams. Itsy Boy here still remains in the Aston Martin, but Urban Growth is now in the McLaren. Both Mercedes powered for the 2021 and 2022 seasons. There's no teams swapping over their power units for 2022. In the real world of F1 anyway. So anyway, while that's all eased up a little bit, we've got I'm a Bird the closest. Actually, Dimo actually is super close. Actually, he's got DRS. XRT might dive into the pit lane. Actually, XRT is diving straight into the pit lane. So he's going to serve his pit stop. He has a 5-second penalty for speeding in pit lane though, so that's mighty unfortunate there. He's had a solid race up until that unfortunate penalty. Gasly can't keep that position. He's talking about P6. Yeah, no, mate. Gasly, as X-Lap sets the fastest lap once again, living up to his name there. Setting extra fast laps there. As McNeil and War Machine exchange positions. A clean move there for P12. Oh, and there's some slight contact there. What was I'm a Bird doing? He broke way too late there. There's a bit of a bump and run there. And they're side by side going into the... You don't go side by side here, as I'm a Bird keeps it under control. I think XRT spun. Yeah, that was very risky there from I'm a Bird. I don't know what he was doing, but he's kind of using his car like a battering ram a little bit. The ever durable Ferrari. You know, these cars can be durable, but they're not that durable. You know, they're not a Volvo XC90 or a Volkswagen Touareg. They're about the size of one, but you know, they're not those cars. They're not those cars. Urban Growth is within the DRS range of It's Your Boy here. The two former teammates looking like they'll battle it out at some point later on this race. Both on different compounds of tyres, actually. So this is going to be a mighty interesting part of this race. NRL Gasly comfortably sitting in 6th. Bird isn't far behind Hunter Hardwidge. Once again, he'll have DRS to help him, but Hardwidge has a lot more ERS than Bird does. Bird has been a lot more aggressive on those soft tyres. He might be using those a bit too quickly. Does Hardwidge use his ERS? No, he doesn't. Side by side going into the braking zone as Dimmer dives into the pit lane there. Does he stay ahead? He mounts the inside curb. Oh, and there's some slight contact there. Doesn't keep the position though. Tyres? You will see the tyres. I'm using the wrong thing. There's your tyres, ladies and gentlemen. SFR PS3 is the sole... Actually, sorry, I'm wrong. RNG Salty and SFR PS3 are the two hard tyre runners. SFR PS3, after his spin, is now in P8 on those hard tyres, having run 4 laps on them. The longest runner on the soft compound tyre is this mad lad, McNeil, 10 laps on that soft compound tyre. It's very slow, though, for some reason. Unless my game's just crapped out. Or unless I've just enabled mechanical failures for some reason. Yeah, got a feeling one of them has shit internet. Yeah, no, you're right. Quite a few of them do. But that's what you get with league racing sometimes. And given we are Australian, this is an Australian division, we are going to have pretty bad internet. We have a Ferrari that's slow. A Ferrari that's stopped, actually. It is Bird. He's spun, I think. And X-Laps sails ahead of him into the points-paying positions. We have McNeil's running very slowly. Oh, he's got a puncture! Can't believe it took me that long to realise, but McNeil's ran a bit too long on that soft compound tyre and now has a puncture as a result. You don't see a puncture very often, but when you do, it's on Bahrain as he spins and he nearly hits the wall. Yeah, that tyre is gone. He's going to have to go into the pits. Bremer is looking very likely to do a one-stop, as is AMG Hamilton. AMG Hamilton's gained out massively from starting from the back of the grid. His consistency has paid off in dividends here, but poor McNeil's running 10 laps on used softs. It's just too much for the soft compound tyre. NBN is vesting it. But you see, here's the problem with NBN, is that we all moved from ADSL 2 Plus to NBN. ADSL 2 gets less congested, NBN gets more congested. Of course, they're upgrading NBN over time, and personally, my internet's pretty good. The stream is pretty good, from what I'm seeing on my phone anyway. But you'll still get a lot of little technical issues here and there, because NBN's not perfect, and was arguably butchered a little bit. Could have been a lot more than it is. Point is that it's better than it was like 5 years ago. Even 3 years ago, it's a lot better. But I'd still prefer 4G over it, because 4G is rock solid. I'm going to take the gap back to the interval, position changes, and interval. There we go. X-Bremer dominating this race so far in the second half. Hasn't changed these tyres at all. Has been running on those tyres since lap 1 of this Grand Prix. As AMG Hamilton pits, that might be a likely undercut for him, although it's a boy here in Urban Growth, still kind of at a flashpoint here. They're looking likely. Who's just come out of the pits? It's a Mercedes. It's Rapid McNeil's. After coming into the pits of the puncture, he's now running P17. So that's mega unlucky for Rapid McNeil there. I had a similar thing happen to me in 2020, actually, in the second season we did there. JDM go to the internet, yeah. Rip. Anyway, yeah. I went a bit too long on the medium tyre, ended up losing the front right, and ended up finishing P11, having been like P6 for most of the race. Such is my luck when it comes to Bahrain. Bahrain has often been an unlucky track for me. Going as far back as F1 2019 as well, as Itzy Boy here looks really unstable. Oh, he actually loses the rear, and there might be contact between the two, but Urban Growth just brakes a little bit and gets ahead. The gap is too far, though, from fourth for Itzy Boy here to lose any more places than P2 from that. So Urban Growth gets ahead there on the soft compound tyre. How many laps has he done on the soft compound tyre? He's done 7 laps. He's going to have to go into the pits at some point. Let's see if X-Bremer dives in the pit lane. X-Bremer does indeed dive into the pit lane. We have a Haas that's spun off. It's X-Laps, the sole Haas running. He is still trying to get his car back up. He might reset the track here, which will incur a penalty. Although, if I'm going to be honest, that far out it really shouldn't, but anyway. You know, he's back. P14. Bremer pits. Urban Growth pits too. It's a boy here. Remains P1 on the medium tyre as well. Bremer is coming out of the pit lane right now as X-Laps retires from the session. That might be, yeah, it is a virtual safety car. We might see that escalate to a full safety car. That works out beautifully for X-Bremer. Although, wow, what did Itzy Boy here do for a drive-through penalty? That's super unlucky from Itzy Boy here. He had that lead in the bag. He had a 2.9 second lead there, and it's gone due to a drive-through. I'm not sure what caused that drive-through, but he's lost out massively as a result of that. As we see Claps for Life in P3. NRL Gasly, that spin hasn't done him anything bad. He's in P4. AMG... Oh, sorry for the burp. AMG Hamilton running P5 on the soft tyre. He's finally pitted. That VSC did him wonders there, and it's going to give him a good points-paying position. SFR Piastri running comfortably in P7 as we see McNeil's and Stroker Race, the two back markers. Unfortunately, if McNeil's through no fault of his own, through a puncture, as Piastri spins on the hard compound tyre. Very easy tyre to spin on. He's going to try to come back and not get disqualified for going too far backwards. He only loses one position to I'm a Bird, who is currently running those soft tyres hard. The way he's going, he might get a puncture, because those soft tyres are pretty soft. They're like Swiss cheese. Is Swiss cheese soft? No, brie cheese. That's better. We have a Mercedes that's spun somewhere. It could be McNeil's. It is McNeil's. Poor dude. He's just doing celebratory donuts. Feel for the dude. He had a really good race. And it all went to hell from him. Also, the Ghost of Stroker Race, he's clearly checked out, unfortunately. He's had a very unfortunate race there, as I'm a Bird now has another penalty. As Bremer... Wow, why are they all pitting again? All of them are pitting now. That gives Hamilton the lead. Bremer comes out in the soft tyre. Didn't he just pit? He's trying to get ahead of It's Your Boy here. He's on the medium tyre. He's going around the outside. Oh, and there's some slight contact between the two. As he heads down the outside, he's going to brake. He's going to brake a bit later. No, he's not. They're maintaining an even gap there, giving each other absolutely no room. Bremer goes the Hamilton line. That's a bit naughty there from It's Your Boy here to push him wide and give him a penalty as a result. Bremer's just got to keep his head down. And he gets ahead of It's Your Boy here through the braking zone. And he might do the crisscross and get back ahead. Claps for Life currently leads from AMG Hamilton. Further down a field, Bremer running P3. It's Your Boy here running P4. Urban Growth P5. He's catching up. Yellow's a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. We have a yellow flag further down the field. There's a Mercedes-Benz. It could be Rapid McNeil. Yeah, It's Your Boy really did push him off there. That didn't look good for him. And RRL Gasly running in a nice P7. He's pitted for softs. I think he's going to go for the fastest lap. I mean, he might be banking on a safety car as well. Piastri running P8 on the only person I think at this point running on the hards. If R&D Salty somehow still is. XRT, Hardwidge, Mad Dog, and Rango Killer. That's reversed order from 14th to 10th. Rango Killer going to be getting the solitary point as Claps goes into the pits. On the medium tyre, he's going to go onto the softs. They're going to do a two-stop here, so that gives Bremer P2 back. And It's Your Boy here. That didn't look good for him, the way he pushed Bremer wide there on the last lap. But Urban Growth is behind him and might gain on him. We have a yellow flag further down in turn 1, turn 2. I'm not sure what actually caused that, but something did. Claps for Life comes out in P7, and NRL Gasly keeps P6. Yeah. No, I don't get what's going on. Wow, NRL Gasly and Claps Life having a good battle there. I'm just going to send a early message to everyone in Div3, as it has been a controversial race, as we see AMG Hamilton in the wings of Bremer. Bremer will definitely, very likely get ahead, as we see a spinner. It's SFR Piastri. Lost his front wing. He has no front wing to account for, so he's lost out massively there. His points-paying position's gone just like that. And we have a VSC now. We have a third VSC tonight. No safety cars tonight, fascinatingly enough. Somehow managed to avoid those, and the gap between the top four shrinks rapidly. Still under virtual safety car conditions. As the top 4 are now within 2 seconds of each other. AMG Hamilton, Bremer, It's Your Boy Here, and Urban Growth are all within an earshot of winning this. Zarengo Killer gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC. The lead Alpine, unfortunately, has to go serve a penalty. He'll probably come back out on the soft compound tyre. But as it stands on lap 24 or 29, AMG Hamilton leads. Bremer, It's Your Boy Here, Urban Growth, I'm a Bird, Gasly, Laps for Life, Dimmer, Rango Killer, and Mad Dog. Those are the people in the points-paying positions. Further down the field, we have Hardwidge, XRT, Piastri, RNG Salty, War Machine, Stroke Race, and your retirements from the session on Rapid McNeil and X-Labs. So we see Bremer near the rear wing of AMG Hamilton on this DRS zone. Got 4 laps to go. He's going a bit wide there. Will he do the Ricciardo swerve? We'll find out. No, he's just going as wide as he can. These two are going to be side by side going into the braking zone. Does Hamilton keep a bit ahead? He does keep a bit ahead. Although Bremer does turn in a bit earlier. There's going to be potential contact between these two. No, they keep the respect between each other and do not hit each other. There's a battle further down between It's Your Boy Here and Urban Growth. Urban Growth gained from It's Your Boy Here, is now in P3 but has a penalty over his head. And Bremer is now in front of AMG Hamilton. They're side by side going into turn 4, down into the downhill part of the track. AMG Hamilton keeps in front of Bremer. These two are fighting tooth and nail to keep that P1. They have a penalty over their heads though, so that will affect the outcome of this race. But we can enjoy this race while it's going. Kahoot Goat. Well, yeah. Yeah. I will agree. Kahoot is the champion, so... Div 1 last season champion, so he is the GOAT. I will say that, for last season. So we've got an exciting battle for the lead here, with Bremer only under half a second behind AMG Hamilton. With 4 laps to go, they are both on equal compounds. Their ERS levels vary wildly there. Bremer is using up almost all the juice he can get to try get ahead of AMG Hamilton, but AMG Hamilton is smart and is keeping his ERS reserves good. Bremer pushes down the inside and takes the lead. Will he get DRS? AMG Hamilton makes the switch back. It's the side by side. Who gets DRS between the two? It's Bremer. Bremer gets DRS and sails away ahead thanks to DRS. Oh, they're super close. Then we might see contact if they're not careful. Oh, slight contact. But Bremer stays ahead. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. It is the Ferrari of War Machine down in P15. AMG Hamilton goes a little bit wide there, and Bremer manages to gain a gap ahead as a result. So Bremer now takes the lead, 3/10 ahead of AMG Hamilton. And It's Your Boy Here is still very close behind Urban Growth. The two of them neck and neck for the final podium paying position. It's Your Boy Here has managed to avoid a penalty, so that bodes very well in his favour for a potential result boost tonight from keeping it consistent. Let's see how this goes. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. It is a Ferrari. Might be War Machine again. It is War Machine again. AMG Hamilton is going to be using as much ERS as he can, combined with his DRS, to try and get back ahead of Bremer with a few laps to go. It depends on the severity of these penalties between the two. But It's Your Boy Here is keeping Urban Growth close. Runs a bit wide there, but narrowly manages to avoid exceeding track limits. Takes the better line, but goes a bit wider on the outside, using as much track as he can. It's Your Boy Here. His teammate, 8.7 seconds behind, has got Gasly for company within his DRS range. Claps for Life is using all of his ERS to try to keep ahead of Gasly, who's still within his DRS range. So we have a yellow flag in Sector 2 and 3. It's War Machine again. Something's up with War Machine's car. Maybe he has a puncture. Bremer leaves the session! Bremer's had a disconnect of some sort. Servers are down apparently with 2 laps to go. If the game continues to fuck up for everyone else, we will report the session as is based off that lap. I believe we probably will. I'm going to quickly try re-invite Bremer. Oh, X-Laps and Bremer are gone. Oh no, to be fair though, X-Laps, War Machine's retired from the session. Fight to game. Let's see if that works. He's now lost another place. He's lost 2 places. Oh, we have an online services error! Everyone's dying. No! With 2 laps to go! You know what? If more people leave, I think we are going to base that. We are going to base the results off lap 26. Yeah, red flag Abu Dhabi time, yeah. See, Bremer still running P4. It's difficult to say what's going on here. I think a few people are still in the running for a race here. I'm going to see what I'm going to press cancel. Nothing happens. Race still goes. So that was mighty unfortunate there, but it seems to be plenty of people still running in this race. Yeah, I think Bremer's internet actually did disconnect on him, so he's lost out massively there. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut out to try reinvite him to give him another shot. Just, yeah, here we go. Hopefully he can come back, but with 1 lap to go. I'm getting online services error because the servers are in maintenance. This is the price we pay for running this in Div3. Alright, so I'm going to provisionally call this race on lap 26's results. I do apologise for everyone. I know everyone's been racing hard these last few laps, but... Oh, come on. Sorry guys, give me a second. Just trying to maintain the Discord. 3... So, Urban Growth would have won had the game continued as normal. It does appear to be somewhat stable, but I get the feeling we're going to provisionally base this off the results at lap 26. That's likely what's going to happen. I'll discuss with the admins further based off what they see, but given the maintenance period has come through, frankly, a bit earlier than we expected. So yeah, I do apologise again for such a disappointing ending to the race, but we will provisionally call the results on lap 26. I'm going to repeat that again. We are provisionally calling the results of this race at the end of lap 26. I do apologise for the technical issues that we've endured on tonight's stream. Hope you all enjoyed this comeback. Well, it's difficult to say because he seems to have disconnected, but I don't know what's, like, it's weird because, again, we're on server maintenance, and it seems to be some people have disconnected, some haven't. I think Bremer might be the only one, but I'm not sure. It seems like maybe others have disconnected too. I'm going to make sure though. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Tiboy is on lap... yeah, I don't know what's happened there with him. So yeah, I do apologise again. We'll have a look. Check what the race results were for penalties, because I don't think penalties changed at all through those last 3 races. We'll have a quick look. The results will be screenshotted and I'll discuss this further with everyone. If only the game could time keep, hey. Also, mighty inconvenient that we've had server maintenance. This has just complicated things further. There's no bias here. Don't want to make it seem like I'm favoring one over the other. But I'll screenshot these, and then I'll screenshot the 26 and 27 and 28, well 26 and 28 lap positions. And we'll make a call based off that. I do apologise for the mess once again. Unfortunate that we've timed this before server maintenance. But it is what it is, unfortunately. We can't, you know, it's beyond our control when server maintenance is. But yeah, that's effectively it for tonight's stream. Chaotic. Haven't called a winner yet. We will get back to you shortly in the Discord based off who wins this race. Thanks again, everyone.